What's up, you guys? JP here. Today we're back on the Celica Franken build. Have to excuse my voice. I got a little bit of a cold. So today, while we were kind of working on this thing, we ended up pulling the weather stripping out of the hatch here, and we found quite a bit of rust and rot. So for this video today, we're going to be working with metal again. We're going to teach ourselves how to do a curved flange using the new shrinker stretcher you guys might have seen on a previous video that we just purchased. So we're going to go ahead and show you guys where this rot's at and get this video going. As you guys can see, pulled the weather stripping off and it's completely rotted out on these little flanges here. This corner's completely rotted. It's got some good rot all the way up. Got to clean all this out, find out if anything's rotted up here. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build this flange, and we got a slight curve here, and then we'll probably rebuild these whole corners since they're layered. We'll probably just rebuild that on both sides and then go from there. We're going to take some quick measurements here just to kind of get an idea of how far this flange is. It's about 1 inch on the dot, plus we're looking at about a little more than a 1/4 inch of the flange. So we're gonna make this strip 1.25 inches, and then from there we'll go ahead and we'll probably just do this with hammer and dolly, or sorry, hammer and the anvil, and just bend our flange up here. But we need 1.25 inches. I think that's safe enough to say. It's a little narrower in here, 7/8. So possibly 7/8 plus 1/4 on there on the sides. But we'll start building this lower section. We'll probably build it in 2 pieces, end to end, and then build the upper sections and then go from there. As you guys can see, picked up one of these Harbor Freight Hercules sheet metal shears. This thing will do up to 14 gauge, makes quick work, easy to cut a straight line. You're just going to line up the outer edge of your blade with one of these sides. That's going to be where your cut line is. And you see, for just cutting it by hand, got a really straight piece there. So now what we want to do is want to grab our marker. And we said we got about a little bit more than a 1/4 inch for a flange, but we're going to go ahead and just do a 5/16 flange, just an extra 1/16 there. This to hold down there. There's another 5/16 right there. All right. Yeah. 5/16. This one needs to come back just a hair. All right. Go ahead and draw our line. Marker's dead. That's why we have a metal scribe. Here we go. Pick up our scribe. There's our scrab line. That's what we're going to flange over. I find that when just making a quick flange, the vise works really easy. Yeah, I could have used the bead roller, but you know, it's pretty easy on the vise to get the initial bend to follow your line, and then we just kind of come over here and straighten it out on the anvil here. All right, so we got our flange here. Check our height, looks really good. So what we're gonna do, I think is we're gonna I'd like to replace, what I'm thinking is make this one piece, and then we'll do this side, since it's a narrower gap, as one piece, and then we'll weld them together. So what I'm thinking we do is, if we can get that, yeah. So we're gonna mark where our bend begins. Grab our scribe. Kind of guesstimate where it bends. There is a bend in here as well, but our main bend begins right in that area. So that's where we're going to want to stretch to get this to start to tip in, and then we'll have to do one in here later on. See, this is all rotted. So and we're going to start with the stretcher. Do a quick test fit. Beautiful. So we need a little bit of, if you guys can see that. That's how easy it is to make a curved flange. So what we need to do is we need a little bit more bend here. As you can see, the gap starts getting bigger. So we're going to bend it. We're going to stretch it tighter right here, which will bring this up. And then we're going to have to shrink it to bring this. It goes up and then it kind of goes back down. So we'll stretch it up and then start to shrink it to get this curve in there. Stretch it one more time right here. Okay, I'll go over here, test fit it real quick. There we go. Now, we need to start shrinking. I'm going to grab my marker and get you guys over here. Okay, so now, See how we're overshooting it now? So now, if we bring the shrinker here, it's gonna bring this back down. So we're gonna start shrinking right in here to start to bring it back down. We'll make a mark on where it goes, right about here. Go over to the shrinker side. I'm going to start to shrink this. As you guys can see here, start to bring this back down. We need to stretch from here to here. A little more stretch. Stretched it a little too much on that very end, so we're going to shrink it back down. There we go. Look at that, you guys. Get this down in here. Follows the same curve up until here. Put a different angle on that. Push this down. And that will hold the new weather stripping for the rear hatch. Alright, I've already made this curved flange a couple days ago when I was testing out the new shrinker stretcher, just making sure everything was working properly. So this one will just go in there like that. Same process, and then we're going to build this section from here to here, and then we'll build the runners. We're going to get the vacuum out. We'll vacuum all this stuff, make sure there's no rot in the upper section. And then we'll just build our flanges from here, and then those will be built and ready to be welded in. Alright. Perfect fit. Now we just need to, looks like, shrink right here just a tiny bit to match that curve. So we want to shrink it right in that area. Get it going this way just a hair. And then here, starts to bend. Here, we want to stretch. Stretch. Here. Nice. There we go. That should be don't get much better than that, guys. All right. Well, that's it, you guys. That was episode 12 of the Franken build and restoration. We have used our brand new shrinker stretcher, taught you guys how to do curved flanges. It's pretty easy. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to how much the machine stretches, and then just constantly checking your work back and forth. So we got from here all the way around built. We're gonna go ahead and build these two last strips. I don't see any rot up top, which makes sense because water travels down. But we're gonna build these last strips. They're pretty much relatively just perfectly straight, so I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. The vise, as I showed you, works really well. You could also tip these over in a bead roller, same difference. I just find it faster for this type of stuff just to use the vise and tip it over and then straighten it out with the anvil. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope this metal fabrication taught you something. Hope you guys get out there into your garage and put in some work on your vehicles. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. It really projects the channel forward. We want to keep bringing you guys content. I want to keep working on all the projects we're bringing you guys. If you guys catch our last short we posted up on YouTube here, you'll see that we're getting ready to do a Vortec V6 into a Willys project, and we're gonna end up fabricating the motor mounts, transmission cross member, getting that thing stabbed in there, getting it running for him, and then the customer's gonna complete the rest. So we're gonna do the bulk of it, and then he'll take it home and finish the rest. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned to the next one. Later.